Hello, everybody. It's time for Pop Speed Digital's weekly Hot Take Tuesday. I'm Lori Jovest, and here with me are two other members of the Pop Speed team, Molly Wagner and Kylie Metcalf. Say hello, ladies.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
And we are here to talk to you about something a little less hot take and a little more social media how to, because we are noticing some changes into what performs on the LinkedIn algorithm. So, here are our top three things we're going to talk about today.
So, yeah, our three big things this Tuesday. We're going to be talking about what makes good LinkedIn content. They are to be interactive. We'll dive a little bit more into what that means, but it can mean very many things depending on what works for you and your brand. Not shying away from being open and personal. We're seeing this kind of more and more frequently on LinkedIn, whether it's people or businesses kind of opening up a little bit on the humanity of the brand and sharing stats and data because everybody loves proof. So,
Absolutely. Everybody wants to know what the numbers are, right?
mhm.
Mhm.
So, this first slide, being interactive, is really something that we're seeing more and more of. And Molly, you're working with one of our accounts who has a LinkedIn group and is doing LinkedIn Lives. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we have really noticed kind of across the board, but especially in LinkedIn groups and um, on business pages in general, that like interactive posts get some of the most attention. Whether you're using polls like you see on this slide, posing questions, asking people to comment opinions, posting PDFs that your audience has to scroll through to access any helpful, useful information. People love that. They love answering questions, sharing opinions, and
Hmm.
engaging with other people to like access new thoughts and ideas. And by responding to polls, you're giving people that we've seen like kind of a break from that like mindless scrolling of just like constant information, get to actually like engage with something that they're reading. um,
Exactly.
and um, especially like with questions, and instead of like kind of sprinkling questions in and encouraging people to like have conversation in the comments instead of just sell, like leading to a
Hmm.
CTA. Like that's a really great break from people just getting sold things on LinkedIn all the time.
Yeah.
And we've really noticed this with one of our clients' LinkedIn groups. And we've done a lot of promotion for the group by encouraging her personal page to be kind of like the content hub. And
Hmm.
we see constantly that like company leaders as personal pages tend to get more engagement than the actual business page, and like establishing yourself as a thought leader by doing this kind of interactive engagement is what's going to drive business to your business instead of just using your business page. um,
Absolutely. Yeah. I found a lot of, in a lot of cases, and I've heard this on a lot of workshops, that if you're a company leader, you need to be sharing your page's content constantly. You still want to have a page, you may want to have a group, but as a social platform, LinkedIn really does prioritize what real human beings share. So we used to run this Hot Take Tuesday on our business page. Now we're experimenting with running it on my personal page
Mhm.
because it does, we think, make a difference and we see differences in the numbers.
Mhm.
But ways to ask people to be interactive, like Molly said, being just, you know, content that people just have to read, scroll through, click through is one thing, but asking them to share their thoughts, asking them to tell you, what they think can make a difference in your engagement level, which then pushes up your views, right?
Right.
mhm.
So, our next topic, don't be afraid to be personal. And these are from my personal page because we've noticed that I can experiment on my page and see what makes my personal views and engagement go up. And what we've seen is funny or interesting always works. That
Mhm.
lamp you see there on the left, I found that on Etsy. I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. Yes, the ring, when you dial it, it does feel like the old-timey telephone. And each of those
No.
little, like, the audio, the speaker and the microphone are both lights, and the little click downs, the little clickers, that you would normally use to hang up a phone, turn the lights on, and it's just the funniest thing. So, I was really surprised at how much engagement it got and how many comments, a ton. And then the other thing I've been doing is experimenting with putting my face on social. If you're a leader, don't be afraid to put your face on social, because putting your face on social immediately gets more views, more engagement, more comments. It just does, because you're a human being, and human beings use LinkedIn and they like to engage with other human beings.
Mhm.
This one here on the right, I was telling a story. Don't be afraid to tell those stories. Those stories are valuable, especially if there's something related to your business. Now, this one was a funny one because I have a propensity to nap on the weekends, because that's how I get through the stress of the week. I go hard Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends I go down. I'm like, I take naps. So I was commending myself for taking more naps in 2023, because it's a stress reliever. So those both of those posted really well. And then this one, another suggestion. This one was about, we have now 3 employees in 3 different states, and we are very oriented to work from home and remote, and we have not found that there's any problems with it. We're productive, we're accountable, we meet our deadlines, we do great work, we meet constantly. And I mentioned, because it's one of our favorite platforms, that we stay in touch on phone, text, Slack, and Monday.com.
Mhm.
And because I mentioned them, I tagged them in it. And they came back and made a comment in it. Well, they have tens of thousands of followers. So that puts that post in the feeds of all those people who follow them. So in putting together content, really think about whether there's something going on in your life or something going on in your business that would be interesting and allow you to talk a little further about something you feel strongly about. And I feel really strongly about, work from home, and how talented people really love freedom. If you don't give them their freedom, they're not going to give you 100% of what they could give you as an employee. So this one was really good. It did really well. And I was super excited about it. So,
All right. And last up, we have to highlight stats and datas and figures and really just bring out the numbers. And this is a big deal for a few reasons. One, people are constantly looking for information that can make their day to day easier. Whether that's, in our position, like I'll speak from personal experience, whether that's, data like the example here that content with smiling faces performs 29% better. Um, for me, that's something I would see in my LinkedIn feed. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm trying so hard to increase this client's engagement, or, get more likes here, or start a campaign here, and nothing's working. Let me try smiling faces. So people are
mhm,
constantly looking to access information that can improve their life, improve their results. And on the flip side of that, also make them look good. So if you're sitting in a meeting and you've been scrolling through LinkedIn, and a stat like this pops out at you, you bring it up in a meeting, you look really smart, right? And it's just something you randomly saw on LinkedIn. So it's important to keep in mind that by creating good content, it's less about you and more about your audience, those who follow you,
mhm.
those who you're connected with. And professionals like to know what works, and proof to back those things up is key, because if you're just, without any study to back it up, without any, I think earlier we had a source from Hootsuite. Like if there's no credible source backing up what it is you're saying, then you're just out there saying it. Provide
Mhm.
sources, provide the numbers, provide, 29% better of content is a big statistic. Provide how much better it is. By using data to back up your claims, you're not only improving the lives of your audience, but you're also increasing the likelihood that they might look to you in the future for more credible information or continue to trust what you say because they know that you look up sources. So it's pretty straightforward, but it's important because it's really just taking that extra mile to find claims or find data and figures to back up the claims that you're making and use it to your advantage to create engaging content.
Absolutely. And it gives you authority
Yeah.
on your subject matter when you have those stats. So, being in social media, one of the ways that we make sure we know what's happening with trends and things like this statistic is by going to the workshops,
Mm-hmm.
attending the events, reading the white papers, doing all those things so that when you share on your social content, you're demonstrating authority on your subject matter about what you do, what you and your company provide to your customers. So, that's it for today, guys. Just a really short little sweep through things that are working on LinkedIn these days. Hope you found it useful. We're running our website there at the bottom of the page if you want to learn more about us. We're at popspeeddigital.com. We are also all open networkers on LinkedIn. So connect with me on LinkedIn if you'd like us to take a look at your social content and give you an audit. We are always up for a half hour Zoom call to review your pages with you and tell you, what you could do better. And of course, we're also always available to take on your social media and just do it for you. So we can get results and you can go on to other things that like running your business. So there you go. That's what we have. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.